Hi there and welcome. Let's get straight into it with the let keyword. So, the let keyword is one of three keywords used to declare a variable. What makes it unique? Well, let is block scoped, which means if it's inside of a block, only that block has access to it. And let is hoisted to the top of the block scope, but it isn't initialized. If you try to access a variable declared using let before the line it has been declared on, you'll run into an error. This is something called the temporal dead zone, where the declaration has been hoisted, but you do not have access to the variable. Also, let can be reassigned values, and also let is considered a more modern approach compared to var. And let's take a quick look at the code syntax. So here we can declare a variable the same way as we did with var, but all we have to do is swap out the keyword and use let instead. Let's move on to some theoretical questions now. So I mentioned this before in the var video, but the most common theoretical questions I see for let involves describing the differences between var, let, and const. And we'll have a comparison video after we cover all three. But you might be asked some definition questions that we covered earlier. This might be in the form of a question like, what is the scope of let? And you'll want to answer it is block scoped. You might also be asked about how let behaves during variable hoisting, and you can say something like it's hoisted to the top of its block scope, but cannot be accessed until we reach the line the variable has been declared on. You might also be asked, what is the temporal dead zone? And you can say something like the temporal dead zone is an instance where the let variable has been hoisted and exists, but it cannot be accessed or used until it's been declared. All right, some coding questions. So a common question you might get will look something like this, where we have a console log above the declaration and then a console log below the declaration, and you'll be asked to explain what the output would be. So this ties back to what we just went over. The variable declaration has been hoisted to the top, but the value cannot be referenced. So the first log will cause a reference error because we tried to access the variable inside of the temporal dead zone. And now for the second log, we actually won't have a second log because of the error we encountered above. Now, another coding question you might see is a for loop, and inside of it is a set timeout, which is logging values. The question will be something like, what will the output be of the following? Now, the loop will finish before set timeout is complete. But because we are using let to declare the I variable, I will be block scoped, and every single callback function inside of set timeout will have a new instance of the I variable, which will result in an output of 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is why in a situation like this, var's function scoping and let's block scoping plays such a vital role in the outcome. Next, we'll take a look at const. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day.